Either you guys, oh no, I'm late. I was going to say either you guys are quick off the mark or I'm a little bit late, and I guess I'm running late. Apologies, folks. A lot going on. You shall see in a moment. There won't be a numbers round this particular episode. I will do it as a separate show, a separate video segment after. I've had a right royal battle. Let me know. What thumbnail did you see? Is it just a little picture of my head? Or do you get the proper... So last week, just a quick recap. Last week, I told YouTube about the problem I'm having creating the stream and putting in the thumbnail at the beginning. And they said, oh, can you show us some screenshots or something? And I recorded a video for them and said, here. And I showed the procedure. I showed me going through it. I showed me setting the thumbnail. And I showed how afterwards the thumbnail wasn't set. And they said, oh, okay, thanks. And they went off and they came back a few days later and they said, have you tried updating the app? I updated the app, still the same, but, you know, you get the same rubbish. And this week... the problem's even worse. In the past, it was 50-50, whether they used the thumbnail I uploaded or the default one, which is just a circle of my head. You know, it's the YouTube channel page. They've solved the fact it was 50-50. They've just made it 100% fucking wrong. Way to go, guys! There's not one person at YouTube who has an Android phone who can check this shit out. Unbelievable. Anyway, we've been facing a thunderstorm warning all day. It was hanging over us, and here we are now. In the last half an hour or so, we have had lots of thunder and lightning. It is raining slightly, so we are inside right now. Apologies for that. But let's try and begin, folks. This is episode 63 of TrampCast proper. Broadcast Sunday, April the 20th, 2025. But we're not covering the week that's just gone. We are still behind. I haven't managed to catch up. We'll go into that shortly. We are discussing the week ending Sunday, April the 6th, 2025. Adam and Mel, hello, hello. Rich, hello. And Tom, hello, hello. Guys, if you're here, make yourself known in chat. Say hello. It's open to everybody this week. No, you don't have to be a subscriber. So post away. Just don't overdo it. Jack Attack, he's not here. He's lurking in the background. Okay, we'll hear from him at the end, no doubt. Guys, if you could, thumbs ups are always appreciated. Subscribe if you haven't already. Subscriptions are always... I'm trying to get to 1,300. I did a post a few days ago asking and immediately went backwards by 3 subscriptions. So thanks for that. That was good. We'll get there in the end. If you're of a mind to, you might consider a donation. PayPal link in the video description. If you click the word more, it expands. You click the word more again. Somewhere in there's a link to a PayPal page. If you've got the money and if you're of a mind to and wish to support a homeless guy. We'll get to the synonyms in a moment. So as I said, this is episode 63 of TrampCast. The channel is Delta Mike, down and out in Torrevieja. Delta Mike, that's me, or at least it's a character I play online. Down and out. A homeless guy, a tramp, a hobo, a vagrant, an indigent person, a person of no fixed abode, some might say a bum, someone who sleeps rough or on the streets, or in my case, in a field. And remember, guys, I started with nothing. You see me now in this glorious tent, this glorious wreck of a tent, or this wreck of a formerly glorious tent, if you've watched the videos. The new tent is imminent. We're just waiting. I want 2 days. I need a day to clear everything out and then a day to put the new one up and bring everything back in. But what did I get to? Sleeps in a field. Okay, this is TrampCast, where we look at the successes, the failures, and the other happenings in my life as a homeless guy, a homeless Englishman trapped by circumstances in Spain. And what circumstances they are. If you don't know the story, if you're new here, if you're wondering what's what, TrampCast 001. I covered the entire backstory. 6 or 8 weeks ago, I had a go at making a more potted version of it. But Jack Attack there got in the way. I ended up taking 3 hours to make a condensed version of a 2.5 hours. Tina girl. Oh, okay, guys. There we go. There's another thing we haven't done yet. Look, there we go. Let's do this. First click. It worked. First click. They did fix something when I nagged at them. Then, eh? What, Tina girl? Say hello. Come on. Here she is. Can you see her new collar, folks? Can you see that new collar? Look, shiny leather, and it's got a name kind of embossed into the back. You can't quite get it at this angle. I'll do a separate photo and what have you of it. What make of tent have you bought? I couldn't tell you the make. My mate Karen would have a better idea. I'm not a one for brand names. I'm not. She got it from, what's the place that's just announced they're closing all their stores in the UK? The Outward Bound kind of shop. I can't remember its name. Was it Winfield's? I think it was Winfield's, wasn't it? That's where she bought it. Or we bought it, I guess, to be more correct. We got a discount because it was the display model. It was the one up in the shop, and I don't think that being up in the shop it's going to have been hit by that much ultraviolet. And the winds inside the shop tend not to be that strong, so we took a discount on the display model. I guess it explains why they were selling off all the display models, the fact that they're closing all the stores. Okay, folks. Ordinarily, there would be a numbers section here. I haven't had time to complete it. All I can tell you, well, apart from the fact that I'm going to do it as a separate standalone video, the number 63 is the sum of the first 6 powers of 2. 2 to the power 0 plus 2 to the power 1, 2 to the 2, 2 to the 3rd, 2 to the 4th, 2 to the 5th. Basically, if you were to write that in binary, you would get 6 ones, and that would give you 63. 64 would be the overflow to the next digit. But that's all. I could tell you some stuff about 1963, which is what I'm probably going to pad the numbers section with. Some bloke called Kennedy got a bit of a headache one day. The exact same day, some bloke called the Doctor had his first TV program. Those will be mentioned when I come to do this properly. Tina girl, can we have some quiet? Hey, let's have some quiet. Come on, quiet. Just eat your foods. Tina's food. Have you finished? Where are you? Excuse me, folks. Just gotta watch my girl. No, she's only halfway through her food. Let's have another look at her. Tina girl. Tina's food down there, look. Tina's food and water. There you go. That's my girl. Just try not to knock the podium, sweetheart. I much prefer this where the switch camera's button works instantly. It's far preferable to the having to click it twice and me pressing it and nothing happening, and then me bitching about nothing happening. Okay, where was I? I got through the Delta Mike down and out in Torrevieja, and we got through all the synonyms of down and out. Torrevieja, that's a city on the southeast coast of Spain, where I have been resident now for 8 years. 9 years. Whoops. 8 years I've been here. Can I say I'm resident? I've been here. It's not entirely legal. Oops. Okay, folks. There is no numbers section. We will go do that as a separate video afterwards, as I say. So next we move on to the thank you round. I don't know whether it's section. The thank you section. Now in the week in question, the week ending The week ending Sunday, April the 6th. So a couple of weeks ago, isn't it, that it ended? 3 weeks ago it began. In that particular week, I've done restarts, jack attacks, and optimizing the phone, and I've had all those messages. Yeah, I've rebooted the. Well, in some of their replies, they were like, "Have you done the off and on again? Have you updated the apps?" All my apps update automatically. I tend to trust the people whose apps I've installed for some reason, and yeah, when I reboot the phone periodically, it does that whole optimizing. No, yeah, optimizes during boot. I know. I've rebooted because they did the patronizing thing that they always do, where they tell you to do the full reboot. I mean, I'm an IT guy. I you know what I mean. It's second nature to me to do the proper off and on, not just off and on the screen, but the off. Second nature. But no, I've just done a video today of me trying to do the thumbnail image, and Twitter won't let me upload it, so I've uploaded it to YouTube, and I'll point the YouTube team on Twitter, which is the only place you get hold of them. So you got to upload your video to YouTube, but then you got to contact YouTube on Twitter and say, "Hey, look at that video." It's a shit show and a half, but yeah. Anyway. Okay, folks, as I was saying, the thank you section. There were 0 PayPal donations in the week in question. And I don't hold that against you. I think that what had happened was I was trying to get the money together to finalize the tent purchase. And in the week previous, I'd done the full grift. I'd gone in and asked directly. So no problem that there was no donation the week after that. Kind of to be expected. I'd soaked up 2 or 3 weeks worth of donations in 1 week, is how I'm looking at that. So no problem there. So no PayPal donations, but I had friends come round to the field here and to help out. Scruff Dog, hello sir. You get your own stream starting in an hour or so, I believe. Oh yeah, Scruff Dog's going camping. That's the worst version of what I do. Real men live the life. Others go and do it for a weekend or a week. Only kidding, mate. Only kidding. Cheers. Coffee with drinking chocolate. Given a choice, mate, I'd rather go out for a weekend and do this than live the life. If I had the choice. Hey, Tinago. Yeah. All right, let's get on with this. Where was I? The people who came to see me, the thank yous, the people who came to see me in the field in the week in question. I'll do a quick summary here because they'll be mentioned in the in-depth gubbings about the week itself. But our friends Adam and Mel, who are listed here in chat as, let me get it right. It's Spain Memories, is it? Yeah, Spain Memories, Adam and Mel. They came and saw, this is the week, folks, where they brought in the mouse traps, and I armed the mouse traps, and the slaughter began. I am become death, destroyer of mice. That was that week. So thank you for that, guys. And they also brought me, let me see whether I can show you, because I didn't do a video on this, folks. So I should apologize, really. You see these plastic drawers here? They brought me this set of plastic drawers here, and a second set later on. So as well as the mouse traps, they brought that, and a few bits for Tina. Jack Attack's not here, he says. Yeah, okay, I saw that. Okay. Oh yeah, 420. Happy 420 for you Americans that put your dates in the wrong order. 20/4 here, but you know. 420 for those of you, for those herbalists that are stateside. Just put your dates in the right order like everyone else on the planet. Or go the scientific way. Go with year, month, day. That's the way I number all my files and things when I'm doing my notes for TrampCast. Okay, let's go back. Adam and Mel and their fantastic contribution. This was also the week, I've talked about these guys before, probably in a TrampCast Hangout. Myron and Thomas, who said they were going to bring some dog food, which they did bring, and then they came back later the same day and brought me 2 bags of shopping, which when we just looked here, let me just do this again. When we looked here down at the drawers that Adam and Mel brought, I think all of the food that's in these drawers is from Myron and Thomas. And there was more besides. It doesn't, even now, 2-3 weeks later, it still doesn't fit in there. Man, the cakes that they brought. I don't even know how many they were, 24 or 36. These sponge finger things. Oh, here's one. A few days ago. You'll like this. So I'd not had any of them for like 4 or 5 days. And I got one out. And I took it, I opened this, they come in little double packs, little packs of 2. I took one out, I'm in the dark, me and the dog in the bedroom, and I eat one. And I'm thinking, it's a bit rubbery, it's a bit, the texture's different. I wonder if they've gone off or if the water or something's got to them. And it's only when I get the second one out and I realise that it's in a paper kind of bun case, a paper case. With the first one, I've eaten the fucking case, and that's why it felt a little bit rubbery, a little bit dense, a little bit tough to chew. I'd eaten the wrapper. And here I am telling you this on the internet. I don't know. But yeah, so thank you to Myron and Thomas for the fantastic contribution. And in the week in question, I think I only did 2 proper videos. One was the dead mice, and one was the what was the second video? Hold on. Oh, I've forgotten now. It's in the thumbnail, but you can't see the thumbnail because YouTube didn't use it. What was the second one? Oh, it was the thank you video to Myron and Thomas, where all the goodies that they brought me were laid out on the sunbed out there. Johnny Scarb, hola. Karen says the tent was a Vango, which isn't a brand I'm familiar with, but she probably is. Knows more about these things than me. I know nothing, folks. I know nothing. Okay, Adam, Myron and Thomas. Okay, other callers to the field in this week in question that deserve a thank you. My friend Anthony. This was incredible. So I'd been messaging Anthony and he said, oh yeah, we'll be over at Easter. And then like a day and a half later, he turns up here at like 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning or something. He's only just got off the plane, and within an hour and a half of getting off the plane and getting home, he's here at the camp bringing goodies. I didn't make a note of the specifics, but knowing him, it's probably a crate of beer. I think this is when he brought Tina the leather collar. He's a leather worker. He makes you know, bracelets and dog collars and I don't know, leads. I don't know, probably coats and all sorts. He's a leather worker. It's what he does, is market stalls and things. So, but he 2 days earlier. What the fuck? Movement. I think it's just stuff moving under its own weight. I don't think it's. I've had to move things around to get into the chair. I've told you this before. This chair has basically 2 bin bags full of clothes and now another carry bag, another shopping bag full, and I have to move it all out of the way just to sit here. What can I say, folks? It's a disorganized mess. Even after a week and a half of sorting through, you can organize stuff as much as you like. The first time you can't find something and you know I know it's in there, but is it in this bag, this? Hooray, I found it. And you look around and you're in devastation again. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll try and be more organized and more tidy with the next tent, but I can't promise. And I promise I can promise that I will try. I can't promise the success of my endeavors because I'm me. But anyway, my mate Anthony turned up out of the blue. This is 3 weeks ago, and he's been home since then, folks. He's back again now. He's been here 2 or 3 times this week, bringing me breakfasts and breakfast sandwiches, and he brought me fish and chips. Was that not yesterday? Friday. Friday he brought me fish and chips. And what I didn't know, when he's bringing me these breakfasts, he's standing at home cooking the breakfast and putting it into sandwiches or on a plate and bringing it out. And he's doing all that before he's even had his own. Who does that? Who's more interested in feeding the tramp that lives kind of, half a mile away? Who's feeding the tramp before they've got their own breakfast? That's my friend Anthony. So thank you, Anthony. Thank yous again for the week in question, folks. You see the haircut? Well, this happened in the week in question, the week ending Sunday, April the 6th. My friend Karen, who is a professional hairdresser, she was headed home Friday, so on the Thursday she said, "Hey, can I come round? Let's get this hair done. It's getting long." And it was getting a bit long. And she came round and took care of the hair and the beard. The beard's all back again. You can't tell. We kept the goatee and we got rid of the rest, took that to the bone. And just 2.5 weeks later, you can't tell the difference. Now, if you look at my first ever videos on this channel, the beard was long because I would put the scissors against my skin and cut the beard away and leave the goatee. And over time, obviously, that grew out and I kept trimming the sides. So when you see those first videos where I've got this fuck off long beard, that was that. But thank you, Karen. And while Karen was cutting the hair, obviously the other members of the family went off shopping and brought me bits and pieces back. We'll dive into those details when we get to Friday in the list, because I don't remember. I don't know if I've listed it here either, to be honest. I remember that he thought he'd brought me biscuits and they were cakes. Always like some cakes. Gotta keep the cakes coming, folks. Got to keep the cakes coming. So, and finally, the final mention, I think, unless I mention something later on, my friend Tom came around one day and brought me a meal, and we sit and have a can of beer. I eat the dinner that he brings me, and we sit and have a chat for an hour and a half, usually somewhere between 4 and 6, or somewhere there at the close of the day. And so yeah, thank you, Tom, who's been around again this week. I think it was yesterday, if I remember right. I think so. Yeah, it was yesterday. Okay, folks, those were the thank yous, and thank you to everyone who came to the camp and helped. Thank you to everyone who thought about donating, even if you didn't in that particular week. If you're still thinking about it, there is a link in the description. If you under the video, you'll see the channel name, and then it says more next to it. Click the word more. That will expand. And somewhere in there, you'll find a link to a PayPal donate page. Only if you've got it. Only if you think I'm deserving. I'm not. But yeah, all assistance is obviously welcome. And if you mark your donation as beer, you will become the beer sponsor for this episode for the next episode. This episode that we're in was sponsored by Ivan again. He says he doesn't want thank yous, but you mentioned beer, mate. What can I do? That is Ivan. Good music in the chat. Possibly not here. I don't think I've seen him so far today. But then the chat hasn't been popping up particularly much. It's an Easter Sunday. There's not a lot of people in here. I understand that. People other than me have got a life, haven't they? They've got somewhere better to be, people to be with. Totally understandable. Cheers to a lot of you. Oh, I am enjoying the hot chocolate. Okay, folks. The themes for the week. That's the next section. The themes for the week. I've only got 2 things written down. I'll probably pad it as we go through. But the first theme. Death to the mice! Fuck the little bastards! That'll probably get me banned by YouTube. Guys, after 3 months of being absolutely tormented by the little rascals, I don't hate them in general, but after 3 months of being, I've used the word before, being plagued by them, possibly hyperbole, but you will see in the week in question, I think, in here, that I still had some running around that week. But this was the week where I got the mouse traps and we started to fight back. And it's been very quiet around here ever since. Couple of incidents where I thought they might be there, but nothing that I could like definitively say so. And the body count is rising. I think we got 1 this week again. So we got, was it 9 in the first week in total? We got 6 in the first night. Couple 2 days later, and 1 the next morning, I think it was. So that was 9. We got 1 last week and 1 this week. So we're somewhere around 11, 12 dead in total. And now it's like normal. I'm not laying there at night listening out for them. I'm not laying there and chasing out, putting the head torch on and light on and running out and trying to frighten them away, trying to punch the ground or kick them or stomp on them. I'm not. There's nothing. I hear a ripple in some plastic and I wonder if it might be, but chances are it's just the wind on the fabric of the tent or on the tarpaulins. If it was the odd mouse, no biggie. It's not a plague of them. It's not. 6 in one night, folks. We killed 6 in one night. The first night we had the traps. You got to choose the right bait. 1 trap. Of all the mice we've killed, 1 trap killed all of them except 1. Now, I don't know if it's the positioning of the trap or if it's the bait, which was a burger relish, like an orangey. Basically, it's a mayonnaise and tomato ketchup mixed, maybe with a bit of something else in there as well. But that would be the base of it, mayonnaise and ketchup. Just a basic burger relish from a squeezy jar. Fantastic. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Mel. This was the beginning of the fight back. So theme of the week, death to mice. I am become death, destroyer of mice. Yeah. And obviously the other one is the ever-present theme for the week, which is just my gratitude, my thankfulness to you guys that do help. And in whatever way, whether it's financial, whether it's practical, bringing mouse traps, keep pluralizing that one wrong, bringing mouse traps, coming and bringing me a warm meal, fish and chips or a bolognese or something, can of beer, 12-pack of beer, Anthony, thank you. Whatever form your help takes, everything Karen and family do, folks, everything they do for me. Bringing me water, shopping, they bought the gas not long ago. They brought the dog food after I forgot to add it to the list. They went back and took a second shopping trip just to bring Tina some dog food. Because I'd given all mine away to Matey Boy over the field. I'd given half away. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. My gratitude. I'm not much good at expressing this stuff. I'm not a feelings kind of person, you know. I don't know. I'll shut up now. I don't know how to express myself. So I don't know how to tell you. I don't know how to express myself. You know. I get embarrassed just talking about this shit. Okay, let's crack on. We are half an hour in almost. I'll just take a swig of coffee. What if the mice are resurrected too? I say, yeah, okay. Then good luck to them. They can sit with our Lord up above. if that's what you believe. What if they come after me? What if it's a horror movie that I'm living in? Then we'll have to send for the Nutcracker, won't we? He was the one that went up against the Mouse King. It was mice, wasn't it? Not rats. The Nutcracker and the Sugar Plum Fairy and all that. Yeah, that was mice. He went up against the Mouse King. What am I rambling at, folks? What am I rambling at? Okay, let's begin. We're on half an hour. We're over half an hour and we haven't made a start yet. Okay, folks. This is Zombie Mice of Torrevieja. Yeah. This is episode 63 of TrampCast. Broadcast Sunday, April the 20th, 2025. We are discussing the events of the week ending Sunday, April the 6th, 2025. So it's the period starting 3 weeks ago and ending 2 weeks ago. So it's that week there. Just after the end of the week of hell, those 3 weeks of storms that I named the week of hell. Okay, we start as we often do with the Sunday evening after TrampCast, and so my evening began with the usual disassembling this pedestal. This because it's gonna work in one click. We can do this. Look, we got a laundry bin, a chopping board, some dog food, and the phone stand, and possibly also the EcoFlow, a lamp, and a fly killer, which is they're all plugged in and doing their thing. So disassembling this mess and just making so I can get out of here, then moving stuff around, putting stuff off the bed back onto this chair so that the chair's unusable but the bed becomes usable again. All those things that I have to do on a Sunday after I stop talking to you guys. Yeah. Now, just after I've moved all this and I lay down, I think to myself, I'll have a little rest, closing my eyes for half an hour. I hear some kids on the track, in the field. And there's a kind of a, go on, oh, you go. So there's a small gang and they're coaxing one of them to come and be the brave one. And because I'd had an incident a little while, a couple of weeks earlier where someone threw a stone and it hit the tent next to my head but didn't hit my head, I was unaware, so I was up and out and right out, and this was where I caught the lad standing. I think I shocked him appearing so suddenly. There's 3 girls with him and there was him, and he's halfway down the track towards me and the 3 girls there, and that's where I surprised them. And the girls run off. He freezes for a second or 3. I say hello, he says hello, and then he turns, looks at them and runs off. Yeah. Oh, this was the one where they came back. That's right, they came back, threw a rock, and it actually hit my head. And I chased the buggers. Yeah. So after I scared them away the once, they came back and actually hit I had my head against the back of the tent. They threw a rock and got me. And Tina got underfoot as I was trying to get out and change the second time. And as I come out, I got my shoes on, and as I came out, I could see them right at the top of they crossed the main road and run up by the garage and the Chino Bazaar. So I decided to give chase. I mean, they've got a 200-yard head start. I'm a fat old man, but I give chase anyway. And I see them at the top of the road. I see them turn right. I chase, but by the time I get to the end of the road at the right, there's no sign of them. They probably lived somewhere over there. But I thought it worthwhile just to signal that despite the white hair, I can still run, so don't do that shit again. And in fairness, that particular group haven't been back again. Stay tuned. Other groups have been back. I've had other incidents with kids throwing rocks. Yeah, I think it's in this week we're talking about. Stay tuned. So yeah, they got my head that time. Yeah, and it was the same. It was a group I'd seen previously. 3 girls and the boy, and they'd all got these scooters. Some of them had got actually electric. You know, you stand on them and they go. Some of them got that, and some were the old-fashioned ones. That, frankly, when I was a kid, they were for 4-year-old girls before you got your tricycle or whatever. Now you've got these 10, 11, 12-year-old kids running around on these push me scooter things. A little bit weird, the way that the generation has kind of regressed a little bit. I guess they're not allowed out until they're 10 or 11. They don't leave the house on their own, so they never get a scooter or a bike or anything at a proper age. Tina girl, you're pushing stuff over. I don't know, I'm rambling. But yeah, that was Sunday night. I chased them. When I got back here, oh, I was puffing and panting like a right old fart. And I was coughing so much and loosening so much crap off my chest. I was like being sick, but it's not from the stomach. It's the crap out of the airways and stuff. Just phlegm. Yeah, nice conversation I thought we'd have this evening, folks. But yeah, that's when you're, what am I, 56? I'm the best part of 60. I shouldn't be chasing after 10 and 12-year-olds who are throwing stones. But I did, because I just had to let them know that just wasn't going to be tolerated. You mess with me and I'm going to mess back. Otherwise, I'm going to get a new tent any day now. Put that up and a stone comes and hits the tent. It could damage it. We'd have a ruined tent, and then all that money would be wasted. I can't have that. So all of these gangs of kids get a little chase or two when they first do this, and on the whole, that sends the signal and they don't come back again. This first group, the group I'm just talking about now, the first time they came, they just got like a warning. They didn't actually do anything wrong. I spotted them before they'd done anything, and so they came back again just to push their luck. Now hopefully they realise that they're in for a chase if they do try, so don't do that. Yeah. Now, this was the evening where I decided I was going to do a TrampCast hangout afterwards. And this was the one where YouTube forced me into fucking portrait mode, if you were there for that. Jack Attack was, I remember that much. I was in portrait mode, and the chat was over my face for half of the broadcast. It's not too bad when you watch it back. The chat and the video are separate, but while it was happening, it was overlapping, so I had to be told, and then I had to sit up a bit and try and position things correctly. And despite the fact that it was in portrait mode, and despite the fact that at the start of it I had no idea what I was going to talk about, I managed to rabbit on for 5 hours. 5! How? 5 hours in portrait mode. I hated the fact I was forced into portrait mode. Again, YouTube software when it comes to creating a stream and going live. I don't think they test this shit. I really don't think they test it for mobile users. Yeah, I was in 2 minds whether to go live at all and wondered what we're going to talk about. 5 hours later, I'm still going. So anyway, that was the Sunday night into the Monday morning, and dog walk with her ladyship here. Put the solar out, get my coffee. It's a sunny morning, and get this, I got the EcoFlow full by 9:30, and that's a 9:30. So this is the first week after we put the clocks forward. This would have been 8:30 the week before we put the clocks forward. And I've got the EcoFlow from its drained state overnight, wherever it would have been, 70 or 80% probably, somewhere in that range, fully charged by 9:30. That's just ludicrous. Now, this was the morning, so I'm sat out and I'm having my coffee, and this is when the German couple, Maren and Thomas, came by and brought the dog food, which, if you remember last week, towards the end of the previous episode, they were walking past while I was sat having a coffee with Thomas, and with Tom, and sat having a coffee with Tom, and they came past and said, "Oh, you live here?" I said, "Yeah, yeah." And "Oh, we're leaving soon. We'll bring you dog food." So this Monday morning they brought the dog food, and I thought that was that. They'd promised dog food, and they brought a big bag, opened, but only just a little bit out of the top, 90% full. Big 14, 15, 16 kilogram bag, whatever size this particular brand is. I thought that was tremendous, and I thought that was that. But there's more. They come back later. We'll get there. We'll get there. This was the afternoon where Adam and Mel brought the cabinet, the chest of drawers here, the plastic drawers, which are fantastic. Put food in there. There's no gaps for mice to get in. There's no messing. They're closed. They push closed, and that's it. They're solid. There's no. They are stackable. So if you pick them up wrong, you can end up with 2 drawers in your hand and not the full set. You got to be careful when you move them around. But other than that, once you put them back together again, perfect. Thank you, my friends. So they brought those, and this is where they brought the mouse traps, and I showed them last week, and they are evil looking beasties, these mouse traps, and so effective. I have 0 complaints. The ones from the Chino Bazaar that I had last year, I could complain about those all day long. In fact, I had 2 lots last year from the Chino Bazaar, and those all exploded. And then friends got me some more from a different Chino Bazaar, think pound shop. When I say Chino Bazaar, it's a peculiarly Spanish phenomena apparently. But they open up these shops selling all the Temu type stuff, but they're getting it direct from the factory, and yeah. Every street, every high street seems to have a Chino Bazaar, and a lot of it is total. You remember when you were a kid and everything's made in Hong Kong and Singapore? It's that everything's plasticky and horrible and falls apart. But the stuff that Adam and Mel brought, they're from Temu, and they're just fantastic. I have absolutely no complaint. Not a single instance of a mouse being caught and wriggling around for 10 seconds in death throes. These things are just instant. It's just done. They go off. They don't miss. They don't half catch them. They catch them. They catch them by the neck, and they're just insta dead. It's just. I couldn't recommend these highly enough. If there was a brand name and somewhere to get them, I would be promoting them. I would do a review video and tell you all to go get them. Within 1 week, my mouse problems were, I'm not going to say over, but they were reduced from plague proportions down to nothing. Is that a mouse, I'm wondering, on a night if I hear a bit of plastic rustle? And as far as I know, it isn't. 1 mouse a week at the minute, I think we're catching, maybe. 6 that first night, though. I mean, that was just tremendous. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So that was when they came around and brought that, and also this electric mosquito killer, which is front and center on the camera there. Look, you can even see the dead mosquitoes on it. I'll have to clean it out again. It's that effective, folks. It's that effective. I'm living in a field. Every time it rains for 2 or 3 days afterwards, flies and mosquitoes just go crazy. I mean, they're a general problem anyway, but immediately after rain, it goes daft. So thanks for that as well, folks. USB powered, doesn't even register on the EcoFlow. It doesn't even register as a single watt that's been drained. It just sits there all day, plugged in all day and all night. Doesn't affect anything. Fantastic. So yeah, they brought those. I set the traps, 2 with ranch you know, the American, the ranch dressing thing, and 2 with the burger relish. And it's one of the ones with the burger relish is just reigned supreme. I think 9 out of the 10 dead mice were all just from that one trap. I'm assuming it's the positioning rather than the actual bait, but you never know. But anyway, so this afternoon, the Monday afternoon, 4 o'clock while 7 o'clock, kids, different set of kids come back throwing rocks again at the tent, and I mean rocks. These were older lads. These were 12, 13, 14, something like that. These were older. These aren't just your 10 or 11-year-olds having a giggle. These were real fucking nuisance little bastards. Pardon my French. And they did seem to enjoy the chase. So I obliged. And they kept going away that way and to the cliff tops. And so one time I waited 5 minutes, and then I went this way through the field, and I came out more or less on top of them out of the woods and chased them. And I had a handful of rocks that I threw. I made them deliberately miss because I'm not a, you know what I mean, I'm not an idiot. I'm not gonna. I was so close on top of them when I came out of these woods. I could have thrown the rocks either one by one and hit them, or just throw the handful with a good chance of hitting them. But I didn't. I threw them and missed, but just to scare them, and carried on chasing them around. But they didn't take the hint. They carried on coming back a little bit later and a little bit later. I got the impression that one of them lived in the houses over the back here. So I stood outside and shouted the shit, you know. And they haven't been back since. Which gives me the impression that maybe a parent wondered why there was a ranting old bloke outside the house. And maybe they've said, oh, we threw a rock and he chased us. Maybe mum or dad's given them a little slap and told them not to do that again. So I've been unbothered by kids throwing stones since then, I think. I think that's correct. This is the thing, folks. I'm talking about 3 weeks ago, so it's not as fresh in my mind as it might have been. But yeah, that was that. So we get to kind of 7 o'clock, and I hear a noise outside, and I think it might be the kids again. But it wasn't. It was Maren and Thomas, the German couple that had come early with the dog food. And they've come back and brought 2 carrier bags full of shopping, which I did a video of. And if you ever do get to see the thumbnail of this video, there are 2 thumbnails within that thumbnail. 2 videos of 2 thumbnails from previous videos within that thumbnail embedded in as a collage kind of thing. Of course, you haven't seen that thumbnail yet because YouTube are messing me about. Such is life. Such is life. But I did a video of their contribution, of all the things they brought, which gave us the title of this particular TrampCast. I titled the video, My Cup Runneth Over, which was a comment I made during the video of Maren and Thomas's donation, when I was unpacking the bags. And there were, I had the cakes and everything, but I had the long life milk, the UHT milk for brews. Tina, shush. I had the UHT milk for coffees. Then there was a jar of coffee, instant coffee. Then there was a second jar of instant coffee. Hence, my cup runneth over. So thank you to Maren and Thomas. I don't know that they even know that I do this whole video thing and YouTube thing. I don't think it got mentioned at the time. Maybe they'll discover it. They said they'd be back in a few months and that they'll come back and say hello. So maybe I'll tell them about it then, and they can go and see me thanking them so effusively, ebulliently. Tina, quiet. Let me see, folks. Where are we? Cheers. Still warm in that cup. The other cup will be hot still, red hot. Where are we? Maren and Thomas have just brought 2 bags of shopping. Okay. Did a thank you video, yeah. Oh, this is when it was after they'd been that I set the mouse traps and baited them and set them. And within an hour, first dead mouse. And it was still daylight. How brazen is that? The little buggers are roaming around. It's not even dark. But I'd killed one. And this is where Pepe, the Spanish guy over the road, over the back of the field there, came by. And he told me just to throw it. He said, there are snakes around here. Throw the mouse and the snakes will eat it. And that'll encourage the snakes and eat more mice. I should have kept it though, because later on, I had a shot of 5 dead mice on a plate. And the first one wasn't there, obviously, because I've thrown it away. I'd killed 6. I could have got a better photograph of dead mice. I gotta say, last year I agonized about killing the mice. I hated them dying. I really, really did. And this year, I fucking celebrated their demise. I take it as a sign of how much they've plagued me and annoyed me over the last months, over winter. And I will probably look back in a month or two and be a little bit annoyed at myself. Tina, quiet, darling. I'll probably be a little bit, I don't know whether I'll be embarrassed, but I will be a little bit concerned at my lack of humanity in the moment. Fuck them. They annoyed the living shit out of me, folks. There were nights where I spent 4 hours chasing them around. Hear them, chase them, back to bed. Immediately there's noise again and they're rustling around in bags of food and no. I'm not having that. If they're out there, I don't mind. They can rustle around, they can move around, they do what they want out there. If they're in my home, no. Just no. I don't agonize about it anymore. I have hardened to it, and that's... I see myself doing it. I hear myself doing it. That's a little bit worrying. But I think it's understandable. At this moment, I think that. But I could see that I might look back at this time and think, what were you doing? Why are you so happy that you have become death destroyer of mice? I don't know, folks. We'll see. We'll see how that develops over time, won't we? I am kind of introspective and thoughtful and contemplative on these issues. So watching myself lose my humanity, that's got to be a little bit concerning, but I think it's justifiable. I think it's justified under the circumstances. At least that's what I'm telling myself now, anyway. Anyway, yeah, so Pepe came over and he ate his food here and he was here for a couple of hours. And when I came in, 2 hours later, 2 dead mice. And this, as I said, this was the night where we got 6 in this night. And no messing. Lying in bed, snap. There's no wriggling, there's no running. Some of the mouse traps in the past went off, and then the thing that was caught like ran away and like took the trap with it. There's none of that here. Snap, bang, dead. No wriggling, no death throws, no nothing. Just job done. Okay, so that's Monday night anyway. We got 6 in total, including one in the daylight the next morning. But yeah. Okay, Tuesday morning, 9 o'clock. Feels late. I haven't put the solar out yet, but it's a weird feeling because it's not actually that sunny. The sun's up, but it's low and there's a cloud there, and remembering that 9 o'clock would have been 8 o'clock the week before. The sun wouldn't even be an issue, really. It's just that time change, that clocks are going forward, just affecting the feeling in the morning. But eventually I put the panel out after a quick walk with Tina, and 50 watts straight away. So as soon as the sun is up and over the trees and clear, we're getting a good amount of power straight away. and the EcoFlow's up to 100% within the hour. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Imagine you've got this thing and you're fully charged by 9 o'clock, 9:30, 10 o'clock, whatever, and then it's sunny all day, and all that power's doing nothing. I'm going to have to start watching the telly just to use the power. I'm thinking about it. Maybe if I could get an antenna and watch actual TV. They're not expensive. I've put one up before, but that was fixed to a house, fixed to a building. But maybe a small internal antenna. I don't know. I mean, I can do the download it on the phone, put it on a pen drive, and put the USB stick in the back of the telly. We can do that, but I don't know. I just had the thought about maybe getting an antenna for the telly, just to use the power through the summer. I'm gonna have more power than I know what to do with. There was a sale on the EcoFlow Delta, it was the original of their product, the Delta, but it was the Delta 2, like the second version. I saw an ad for that, but that's way out of my price league. I jokingly posted saying anybody want to donate. I think I was on Twitter rather than YouTube. Something like that, and then you can start thinking about having an actual fridge or a freezer to power one properly. Maybe one day, folks. Maybe one day. I don't know. So anyway, after I'd walked Tina and done all this with the solar panel and got coffee and everything, I actually went back to bed and just lay down and watched videos, and released the thank you video from the German couple the day before. And I'm in the middle of watching that when Anthony turns up again. He turned up early afternoon, and yeah, this is when he first surprises me. That's right. He told me 2 days earlier that he'd be out for Easter, but 2 days later he's here in Torrevieja, and he turns up and at the camp and surprises the hell out of me. Yeah, I put here, what the WTF. Yeah. I spend the rest of the day just checking my stat. When I've got a video out, I do spend a lot of time just watching how it's doing, looking at whether I need to change the thumbnail or the title, just what time to promote it on as a YouTube post or a tweet on Twitter or an excretion on X. I don't know what to call posts on X anymore, but I don't think they do either. But basically that was my day, and obviously I'm waiting on the traps. I'm thinking, after getting 6 the night before, I'm wondering how many we're going to get on the Tuesday night. 0 is the answer. Fucking 0. So I'm thinking, have they got the message? 6 down in one night. Have we taken out the whole bunch? Is that 100%? There's no more left. Whatever nest or group they're coming from, whatever tribe they belong to, maybe we've wiped them all out in one fell swoop. So I'm listening all night and nothing. Into Wednesday morning, folks, and for some reason Tina wants to walk at 2 in the morning. That's my girl. 2 in the morning, and again at 8:30. Just get back into bed and settled, and Anthony's here again. This time he's brought a full cooked breakfast. on a disposable plate, full cooked breakfast and 4 slices of bread and butter. He's not even had his own breakfast, and he's bringing me. I don't comprehend. I don't understand. He's getting up, standing there and cooking breakfast and not eating it, but bringing me some instead. Thank you, Anthony. And Anthony's missus for putting up with him. I don't get it either. And I reviewed the mouse footage that I'd taken on the Monday, all the photos and of mice and little videos. Oh, trap's gone off. Let's have. Oh, look at that dead mouse. And I've got no idea whether this will fly with YouTube. Are they going to let this happen? Will they let me post that? Will I get strikes and warnings and get told off? I review it and I figure, hey, if I can put a big fuck off, this video contains pictures of dead mouse. If there's a big warning up front, it shouldn't. Nobody can really complain if they've been warned well in advance. So I put the clips together, make a little video, and do the warning, and release it. So yeah, that was more or less that day. Wednesdays I watch Scruff Dog in the evening or at night, and while I'm watching it, clunk, dead mouse. Okay, have to get out of bed, go out, dump the dead mouse outside, reset the trap, put a bit more bait in, reset the trap, get back into bed. Before I've even pulled the covers up, clunk. And I'm thinking, oh, it must be a misfire. Must have gone wrong. It can't. Dead mouse. Outside, barefoot, out in the middle of the night. I'm coming out here. We've got a carpet out here, so I'm barefooted. But then I have to go take the mouse and dump it outside. And I'm hobbling around on the stones and in the field and whatever with dumping dead mouse carcasses. I just store them temporarily out there, and then the next day I bag them up and get rid. Generally. But yeah, twice, just in quick succession. Same trap. Honestly, that one trap has killed them all almost, apart from one. Dead mouse. Cleared the trap. Back in bed. Clunk. Another dead mouse. Yeah. So at this point I think we're on 8 dead mice, and 7 of them are all from the one trap at this point. So anyway, into Thursday morning. Woke Tina, put the solar out. The EcoFlow's on 74% at the start of things. Because I used the phone heavily overnight watching videos and stuff. I was awake well into the night. And I'd had the light on all night. Now the weather forecast says windy. Windy. Yeah, and little to no sun, according to the forecast. So we're starting on 74%. If we get no sun, we'll be on 50, say, by the end of the day. Then we got to get overnight and hope the next day is sunny. But the forecast says that the next day is going to be even worse. That's what the forecast says, you know. You never believe them. If you've watched any of my videos about weather forecasts, you know that I don't trust them. Now, we're on Thursday, and Karen's leaving Friday. She's going home to the UK for a little while. So she contacts me and says, hey, going home tomorrow, do you want your hair cutting today? So she comes around, and this is where I get the shears run over me. Over the hair and over the beard. And while she's doing that, a hubby goes off, and they ask, what do you need? And I come up with like 3 or 4 things. But he adds to it while he's out. He gets a couple of beers. I had mentioned wine and cola, because I hadn't had any for ages. And maybe biscuits. And he bought what he thought was a pack of biscuits, but it was this fantastic set of cakes. Fantastic. I would have never bought them in a million. I can guarantee they're like 3 times more expensive than I would have ever paid for biscuits or cakes. This is what it's like having friends, folks, you know. But he came back, and he'd also bought, while he was gone, basically 2 tarps, or technically they're ground sheets, but they've got the eyelets, you know what I mean. They're tarps by another name. So he's got these 2 extra tarps that are in black. That I could use once we put the new tent up to maybe make it a little less obvious, if it's because it's going to be bright blue again. I think, did we go for blue, Karen? Is it blue or green? I don't know if you're still out there. Oh, Karen says clear out needed. Yeah, I mean, every time I look around, the more I clear out, the more stuff just gets stacked in here, and every surface just ends up like knee deep in more crap. Plus, I moved the cabinet from over here just into the middle of the room because I was doing something down here, and now it seems to live in the middle of the room now, right in the way of everything. It's not so much it needs a clear out, it doesn't need throwing away. Most of it just needs stacking vertically or organising. I used to have a set of shelves, wooden shelves, but the police took them away. It was wood, so it was a fire risk, folks, in a field. Everything that's wood is a fire risk. Or green plastic, or frying pans. Everything's a fire risk. Bastards. Blue, the same as this, yeah, okay. Yeah, so it doesn't, it's not going to look different. When they're just driving past at the top of the road, it's not going to stand out as amazingly different to what was here. Hopefully they won't notice. Hopefully I can empty it one day, take it down the next and put the new one up and get everything in. And to someone who's just driving past on the main road, they won't even notice that it's a different tent. Tina girl, quiet. So yeah, where am I, folks? Where am I? What day? What day are we doing? We were on Thursday. Karen was coming around to cut my hair. That's right. I got you. I found myself. Okay, yeah, and hubby was off shopping for me, and he comes back with the ground sheets and cakes. Thank you, Karen and family. Thank you for the haircut, for everything. And we did get a nasty comment as well. Someone said, what did he say? He basically hinted that my hair looked like a dog's dinner. Now, what he doesn't know is that I haven't washed it for over 18 months. And Karen did a great job, but then it's me, and it's just how I put it and lay on it and have my head torch wrapped around it. I wear my glasses and my head torch, all night, every night. Whether the glasses are there or there, and then, above or below the head torch. So my hair is always ruffled by elastic bands, basically, around my head. So it's never going to look perfect. Doesn't matter how good a hairdresser you are. You're coping with me and my lifestyle. I literally, folks, still not washed. It's got to be. I'd have to look back, but I would say it's more than 18 months since I washed my hair. And I mean, maybe Karen noticed it while she was cutting it, but I find nothing. I find nothing wrong. It goes through little phases. It'll get greasy for 2 or 3 days, and then it'll get dry for 2 or 3 days, and on the whole, it all just balances out, and it's. No, I don't know. I'm no hair expert. So yeah, I released a video, just a quick video saying, "Hey, who's a pretty boy?" And somebody comments saying it looks like a dog's breakfast or a dog's dinner. I think he got himself banned. It's only about the 4th or 5th person banned from the channel, but certainly the post got deleted. I don't know whether it was banned or just deleted, but I'm just not putting up with abuse. We can argue about facts, we can debate issues and things, but if you're just outright kind of malicious or nasty, especially to my friends, when she's cut my hair and then you're saying that it's a crap haircut, fuck you, you're out of here, gone. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so this Thursday night, Scruff Dog did one of his MRE streams, his meals ready to eat, the military ration pack streams, where he cooks the food and eats it and tells us what it's like. I was thinking of doing a TrampCast hangout, but I didn't want to tread on his toes. I didn't want to do a broadcast the same time as him. Mainly, not because my stream will harm his, it's because half of my audience would be over there watching him, not me. But then I waited until after he'd finished, and then I went live, but it's late, 1 o'clock, 1:30, whatever time that would be. And I went live, no warning beforehand to anybody, no effort, no alerts, no publishing that it was going to happen, I just went like, I didn't even say in Scruff's chat on his live stream, I didn't even mention it. Probably Adam. He's probably got less hair than you, mate. Yeah, I don't know. But I went live late and with no warning, so it was a really low turnout. It was quite a quiet stream, really. I think I cut it short, probably I don't know, an hour and a half, something like that. So into Friday, and this is my friend Karen there and family. They're travelling. She set off just as I was finishing the live stream, kind of 3 in the morning or whatever. She's having to get up and get ready for an early flight. Tina, let's have some quiet. Let's have some quiet. So this is Friday, and yeah, Karen set off as I finished the live stream. Friday was a quiet day. Nothing much happened. Just a standard, boring day. I probably watched the TrampCast back from the night before. I usually do. The day after, I'll watch them back. So I'll watch this one back tomorrow, but I'll wait for the chat to be post-processed by YouTube and synchronized, so that you can watch back and you watch the chat as it happened. I know it's a quiet one, but I still like to watch them back, because often I'm caught up behind the times in the chat when we're live. I'll be half an hour behind with the chat and answering people's questions, and they're carrying on commenting, and they'll say something, and when I get there, it's out of context to me. I don't know, someone will have called someone a name or said something, and I've got no context. When I watch it back the next day and I'm seeing chat appear as I'm talking, the chat makes more sense to me. So apologies, all those comments, Jack Attack, where I'm like, fucking lost me, mate, I've no idea. I do get them the next day when I watch through. They're not entirely lost on me. Just in the moment, because I'm coming back through half an hour or an hour late. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, folks. I'm coming to the end of this coffee. I've got another coffee here. But I do have a beer. What I'm going to do... Cheers to you guys that are here live on Sunday afternoon or evening, however you want to label this. Cheers to the subscribers. If you're feeling left out, if you're watching this on the replay, on demand, if you're watching this and you're feeling left out, then you either have to join us live on Sunday, or look down there, hit that subscribe button, rewind 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and when I say cheers to the subscribers, it'll include you now, won't it? That's how easy it is. Get on it, doggone it. You missed the thunderstorm before. They've been saying all day that we were going to have thunder and lightning and rain. And at one point they said it was going to be 8 millimeters of rain in the 1 hour. And then they backed off and backed off. Then we had the thunder and lightning and almost zero rain, a little bit of spitting. And now here we are, what, an hour and a quarter later, and it's actually starting to rain a little bit. Not too much, not too much. Let's get on with it. Where are we? We were on Friday, weren't we? I was talking about Karen travelling home. Quiet day, yeah. Well, Tom came around late afternoon or early evening, and he brought me an all-day breakfast. Cheers, Tom. Thank you. I haven't noted the fact, but it was probably with a beer. We probably had a can of beer each while we sat there. Not always, but probably, usually. How much of a slope are we on here, folks? Is that just my eyes? We're on a slope, aren't we? Give us a second. I'm just going to try and... I got something... We were on a heck of a slope, and I've got something here that's designed to try and rectify the situation. It just wasn't doing its job. That looks better from here, but I don't know. You tell me. Anyway, where were we? Friday. Tom. All day breakfast that he brought me, that's right. After Tom left, I just got settled in bed. Quick walk with Tina. Just got into the bedroom, laid down. As I said, this living room's kind of unusable because there's too much stuff piled up in here. So I got laid down in bed, started to watch videos. Fucking Pepe, kind of the Spanish guy from the other side of the field, turns up. And I think I mentioned last week that he annoyed me a little bit sometimes. We did it again. So I've got cooking oil, right? And I put some in the frying pan. And as far as I'm concerned, you cook, like, let's say you cook a pan of chips in the frying pan. Shallow fry. But that oil doesn't need throwing out straight away. If you're going to do another set of chips a couple of days later, or it's fine. No. Here he comes. Throws my oil away. Cleans the pan out, blah, blah. And then finds my bottle of cooking oil and just puts some more in. Doesn't ask. Can I use your Can I use your gas? Can I use your cook? Do you mind if I pour this oil? Can I have some more oil? No. Just pours my fucking cooking oil away, washes the pan out unnecessarily, washing up liquid. Wasn't needed. It's been cleaned just before the chips were done. You don't need to clean a frying pan. We're living in a fucking field. You don't need to clean shit out every time you use it. And all of this is to warm up some ready cooked chicken. It's already cooked. You could just eat it. No, he's going to use half an hour of my gas while he warms up some chicken. Throws my oil away, uses more oil. More than I would have used anyway in the bloody pan. I'm too soft. I need to say, fuck off, stop it, go get your own gas. Anyway, I'm bitching. Karen lands in the UK. Karen, this was the night when you landed. Even before she gets home, folks, they take a detour from the trip home to go and pick up the tent from the shop. She says it's the only opportunity she's going to have in the week or 8 or 9 days, whatever it is, that she's in the country. Her only opportunity to go and get the tent is on the way home. So they take a detour. And I hope you don't mind me telling you this one afterwards. Due to how they're travelling, they're going to have to take a train journey, and they go to the ticket machine, and it wants them to pay 50 quid each, £50 each, for a short hop between two towns in her area. £50 each, according to the machine. So they go to the ticket office and say, is that right? What the fuck? What's that about? No. 7 quid each. That's a hell of a... How much is that machine ripping people off? Telling people that they need to pay 50 quid each for a short journey. A hop of a couple of stops. You go to the ticket office and the guy sells them it for 7 quid each. Something's wrong there, folks. I'm getting rained on. It's raining in on me while I'm sat here. Quite regularly. That's impressive. Anyway, yeah. Well, this was another one of those nights where I walk out to walk Tina later on at night, like midnight-ish, let's say, and we got this lovely blossomy, perfumey smell permeating the air. Lovely smell. I've had a few suggestions from people as to what the plant might be, but the smell must be. It must cover like the whole town. It can't just be my little field here. It's lovely though. Lovely, blossomy, perfumey smell in the air. So that's my Friday night. No mention of Friday Night Tights. I have given up on that entirely. I don't even go and watch it now on demand. For a while I was going and watching it and skipping through the boring bits. I don't know whether it's the programme or me. I just find it all boring now and I don't bother with it. It used to be a big part of my week, Friday Night Tights from Nerdrotic, but no. Look at this, the entirety of my notes for Saturday. You're going to like this. 3 lines. Saturday, bog standard day, no notes. BigClive.com and Scruffdog. That's all it says. It's just a day you sat inside the tent, walk the dog when I need to, a cup of coffee when I need to. And then Saturday evening I like to watch BigClive.com, spelt as a word, Big Clive, DOTCOM, all one word, on Twitch rather than YouTube. He had to leave YouTube. He trimmed his beard. He got a funnel and he put his beard through the funnel, and to trim the bottom he just set it on fire. Which is what Turkish barbers will do. They trim beards with flames and stuff, but he got in trouble with YouTube. And this was his second channel, and he couldn't afford, his main channel has over 1 million subscribers. It's his main income, so he couldn't risk getting in more trouble with YouTube. So his Saturday night live stream, he's moved across to Twitch. So yeah, Big Clive, and then my mate Scruffdog, who was here earlier, I believe he's doing his own stream anytime now, so he's probably not still here. There's Ivan, good music. When this week, new tent. I think me and Karen have penciled in, I think we've said, did we say Wednesday, Thursday? Yeah, I need a day where there aren't strong winds forecast and no rain. I actually need 2 days because I want to empty things out in the afternoon of one day, put tarps over them, and that just, trying to do everything, excuse me, trying to do everything in one day. Empty all of this out, sort through it, deconstruct the tent, move it out the way, prep the ground and whatever changes we're making to the ground and orientation, and then put the new tent up and then bring everything back in. That's a lot of work for one day for one person. I will have help for putting it up, but the emptying it and bringing it back in should just be on me, really. Putting the tent itself up is probably a 2 or 3 person job. So my friend Karen and her family are helping with that. But the emptying it and bringing it back in is, and sorting it through, that's on me. So I'm going to do that the day before, and I will find all sorts of things that have been missing for months. That I will find all sorts. I've told so many stories about. Have I told the one yet about how I lost a spoon in bed and didn't find it for 4 weeks? I don't know if I've done this one yet. I know I've done the jacket potato that I lost for an hour. I lost my glasses again earlier today for half an hour. In general, when I take these off, I put them on, like I call it my bedside cabinet. It's a chopping board next to the bed. I take them off and I make a point of only putting them down in one place. So, stupidly earlier, I took them off to put this jumper on. And I wasn't on the bed at the time. 30 minutes to find my fucking glasses, knowing that at any minute I could hear any movement I make, I could hear a crunch, you know. If I put them somewhere stupid and they're falling on the floor, or if they're on the bed and I move in the wrong way on the bed, crunch. It could happen at any minute. I lose stuff so easily, guys. The moment you put something down in a non-standard place, it's gone. It's gone. It's annoying. It is annoying. Okay, so that was Saturday night. Big Clive and Scruffdog, and on to Sunday. And this was a very sunny day, very sunny. Decided that because we were going to have so much spare power, I was just talking about before, if you're fully charged by 10 and it's going to be sunny all day, what do you do with the extra power? This was the day I decided to cook some jacket potatoes, baked potatoes for our American friends. So I loaded up the slow cooker, but what I didn't think about, I overloaded the slow cooker. I put too many in. And what I also did is I went too light with the extra insulation. I would generally, I would put a couple of sheets of silver foil under them, put them in and crinkle the foil up at the sides. Then I would put foil over the potatoes immediately above them, and then a couple of layers at the top on the lid to create an airtight seal around the top. That's what I've done in the past. This time I just put the potatoes in, no foil on the bottom, just put the potatoes in and one sheet of foil on the top. Consequently, they didn't cook. They didn't cook that day fully, nor the next, nor the one after. I was just doing it wrong. In the end, I had to do things a different way after 3 days of failing. I haven't got that much silver foil, tin foil, whatever you want to call it. It's aluminium, whatever you want to call it. But so I was trying to use it a bit too sparingly, and it bit me on the backside. So yeah, so that was a waste of time trying to cook those all day, and I mean all day. Halfway through the day, so I sit down 12 o'clock onwards on a Sunday. I have to take these notes from the phone and put them onto paper because I can't refer to the phone. I'm using the phone here, so I need the notes here, usable. So my Sunday afternoon is transferring these notes and then researching the numbers section, which I didn't do. Then creating the thumbnail and then creating the stream on YouTube. Setting it all up, which is where I lost a lot of time this afternoon and consequently didn't get the numbers done. But I'm halfway through doing the notes when Pepe arrives, looking like he wants me to sit with him and while he cooks and does whatever. I'm like, mate, no, Sunday is my one fixed thing in the week, doing the TrampCast, except for exigent circumstances, except, really bad weather, a really bad thunderstorm, really bad wind, whatever. Sunday is the one day that I've got a fixed thing I have to do. It's where I come and talk to you guys, maintain our relationship, try and beg some money from you for tents and for food and for surviving, for life. So I told him, no, I'm busy Sundays, mate, sorry, no, and I just turned my back and came inside a little bit rude. Hello, Thomas. Hello, Keith. Didn't see you there, mate. Tin foil only steams potato. Remember, it's a baked potato. I know, but I just need to. I need to keep heat in the slow cooker. It's not a perfect seal on the top. The lid moves around, so there's just things I have to do. I know it's meant to be baked, but I'm in the middle of a field. I can only do what I can do. Tinago. So anyway, yeah, I told the Spanish bloke, I told Pepe that I'm busy Sunday and not today. Did my preparation, did my notes for TrampCast of that week, and then did TrampCast. And it started to get windy towards the end of the day. And this was where I messed up, because I'd been cooking all day with the slow cooker. I'd used a lot of power. We were getting to the end of the day and the EcoFlow was only on 43%. So I had to move the panel. I had to chase the sun, as I call it, move the solar panel. Here, where it is most of the time, it's in the shade after 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Move the panel over the other side of the field, face the sun, and I can try and eke out a bit of extra power. But I'd left it too late and it was a little bit too cloudy, so job was messed up, as you might say. But this was the one I was in the mood for talking after I did this TrampCast. Have we met? Apparently I like to talk. Maybe it's because I'm in a field with no one to talk to all day every day, just me and the dog. I don't know. I would have never pinned me or pegged me for someone who's able to sit and talk to camera like this. But apparently I can. And I got in the mood, so I told myself I'd do a TrampCast hangout later. And it was going all right, but the conversation kind of got a bit sidetracked into conspiracy theories and things. And I'm a bit more science orientated rather than some of the more wacky, extreme. I do analyse conspiracies, and I'm open to the possibility that they can be right, but there's a couple of people who just have the same. We have the same conversations over and over, and so I brought that to an end. I ended after, I think I quit that one after 2 hours, and I have since blocked a couple of words and phrases just so that we're not having those same. The people are welcome. I'll chat with them still. I'm just not having those particular conversations over and over and over. Yeah. So that was the end of my Sunday night, folks. And like I said, I do lean towards science. I'm not. There's a lot of woohoo spoke, and there's a lot of stuff that's a bit too far out there. Cities under pyramids and stuff, you know. If you've been following the recent news and developments, there could well be things under the pyramids, but I doubt that they're whole cities. I don't think it's built by aliens. I don't know, but that was the end of that particular week, folks. The week in question, the week ending, was it Sunday the 20th? No, this is April the 20th. The week ending Sunday, April the 6th, 2025. That was the week that was. Now, I do owe you a numbers section. I will go and do that as a separate video, probably tomorrow, as a standalone video. I don't know, does anybody fancy a TrampCast hangout tonight? I'm not sure whether off the top of my head, I've got no topics. I wouldn't know what we would talk about. But I'm open to the possibility. Vestino, sorry, I didn't see you there. Happy Easter. Happy Easter to everybody. Is it raining, Tom asked at one point. It was, yeah, a while back. It's stopped again now. There's Adam asking, saying he bets that the nasty haircut guy, comment guy was bald. TV test pattern. I don't think I saw you before. Zombie mice, yeah, Van Gogh is the brand of the tent. Okay, I think I'm all caught up, folks. I think I'm all caught up. Any questions or comments from anybody? Does anybody want to say anything? Are you going bald, or is it just sliding down your neck? There is, I think, Billy Connolly did a Billy Connolly did a routine, didn't he, about what is God preparing you for? When the hair disappears from here and starts appearing out of here and out of here, what exactly is that stuff for? Those hairs in your nose, and you know, especially once they start dangling down. What gets me is, you can notice one suddenly, and it's not just sticking out the end, it'll be like that long out of the end. Wasn't there yesterday? Where the fuck was that? Have you eaten his beans yet? Asked Jack Attack. No, he came for his beans the day after we all had this discussion. I'm assuming that must be last Sunday, when we said I should eat his beans. He came along and asked for his 2 tins, not just 1 tin of beans. He came and asked for both tins and then cooked them, and was over the top in expressing his gratitude for using the gas and everything. I've got a feeling that maybe a friend of his has watched the videos and mentioned that I was a little bit displeased with his taking things for granted. There was just this instant next day over the top gratitude for everything. Like someone's worded him and said something. I don't know. Maybe he's just watched the video himself because of YouTube do the auto translation now, don't they? So I don't know, folks. I don't know whether someone said something or whether he's watched it himself. I mean, he knows I do YouTube. I've always told him that, and I've told him the name of the channel before now, so it's entirely possible. I just didn't think that he would have watched it, but maybe. Have you eaten his beans? Ivan's no work for a week. The week just gone or the week coming up? Okay, I'm all caught up, folks. We're all there. It was a quick one this week because it wasn't a particularly eventful week. There wasn't a lot happened, and I didn't have too much to ramble on at tangents about. We also didn't have the numbers section, which I guess saves us 10-15 minutes. It was only ever intended as a time waster while people arrived. But I lost so much time battling with... There's a video, it's on YouTube, it's public, you'll be able to see it. It's only 2 minutes, maybe 3, of me trying to create the live stream, setting it up in YouTube, trying to upload. I'd created a thumbnail, but trying to make YouTube use the fucking thumbnail. So in the app, it shows me the thumbnail, and I say, oh good, let's go. And then at the last second, it shows me the default thumbnail, not the thumbnail I've just uploaded. So I upload it again, save the stream, go in, it's showing me the right one. So then I try and push the stream out to Twitter. I get to Twitter, and I can't tell, it's blank, it hasn't received the thumbnail yet. So I go and I dick about in my profile and I find my latest post, and then I click through into it. Which thumbnail is it going to use? The one that I've set, or the default, the circle just with my head in it? Click into the video, the default just with my head in it. And now, once Twitter has downloaded that thumbnail to go with the video, you can't force through a different thumbnail. You can delete your post and do a new post, and they will still... it's an optimization thing on Twitter's part. They will use the first thumbnail they ever got for that video. It doesn't matter how many times you change the thumbnail. When you tell them to show that video and give that web address for the video, they're just going to use that original thumbnail. So I've documented this and I've published it, and I've said, YouTube, fucking sort your shit out. But that's what I said a week ago. And then we had all the, have you tried rebooting? Have you tried downloading the latest version? Have you done this? And it's like, mate, just get a phone and check this shit. Go and go into YouTube. Go as if to create a live stream, to set one up. And you set it up, you upload the thumbnail, type in a description, and I always set a time for later in the day. I don't want to create it and go live there and then. I want to create it and go live at 5 o'clock. My time, Spanish time. And when I go back in and the thumbnail's been ignored and the time that I've set for going live has disappeared, and if I click to resave that same live stream, it's going to go live there and then because it's abandoned that date and time. It's fucking annoying, man. It's annoying. And I killed about 3/4 of an hour this afternoon that I don't have, just trying to get a pretty thumbnail on the video, and then documenting the struggle so that the YouTube guys can get a clue. Because I used to do software development, websites and all of that, so I know how to test and document and explain the steps to reproduce. But it's annoying when they don't utilize, when you've made the effort to point them in the right direction and they don't do anything with it, and they talk to you like you're a muppet. Turn it off and on again. Have you got the latest version? Fuck you. Sorry. Anyway, folks, I guess we're on 1 hour 39. We're coming up for 1 hour 40. I've run out of stuff. I'll have a quick check of chat, see if there's any more comments, because it's not staying. There's the other one. Why can I not make chat stay on screen when we're in landscape mode? Portrait mode, can't get rid of the fucking chat. And it overlaps the image. Landscape mode, I can't make the thing fucking stick. Where are we? Let me go back. Pepe can buy the next gas bottle. Exactly. He should just go buy his fucking own. As far as I can tell, he came here the other day to eat a baguette and pate. I think it's because he hasn't got a knife in his tent. He literally came and sat at my nice big pine table. I don't think I've shown you guys that yet, have I? I've got a nice big pine table out there. He came and sat at my table just because I've got a knife. The fuck? Happy Easter, everybody. Yeah, okay. Dadachowski, Chris is here. Damn, if you had done the numbers thing, I wouldn't have been so late. Your fault, Mike. It is indeed, Chris. What did new tent yet? No, not yet. It's here. It's in the country, but we wanted a couple of days where the weather was right and where it wasn't a religious holiday. Don't want to be. Spain's quite religious, yeah. I didn't want to be risking having people complain that I'm breaking the Sabbath or doing things on Good Friday or whatever, you know, whatever it might be. Didn't want to take that risk. Chat can overlap the screen. I mean, I'm all right with it overlapping like it is now. When it's here, it's overlapping. It's transparent background and everything. When it's portrait, it was over the screen anyway, because Jack Attack had to tell me that I was covered. I had to sit up a bit more because my face was obscured by chat. So yeah, I don't know. It's problematic either way, or maybe I'm just a bitching. I was going to say I'm a Karen, but my friend Karen would probably take offence at me saying that. Okay, folks, I will consider doing a TrampCast hangout tonight, probably 10:30. Gives me time to relax from this one and maybe just look up a couple of topics to chat about. If you want to, I'll be there. If not, don't worry, and I'll catch you next time. Let me finish in the traditional manner. I am enjoying the fact that we're back to one click to reverse the cameras. Tina girl, hey babe, say hello. Oh, well, say bye-bye. Tina, bye-bye. Say bye-bye to the peoples. There she is. From Tina, and from me, Delta Mike, out. Awkward moment.